Hi Theatre Addicts, it's Matthias here, and I'm at the Fire Hall, where I'm about to watch a Canadian bartender at Butlin'S. Written and performed by TJ Daw, the one and only, the legend. I'm told it's his 113th Fringe, which after this video I will have to look up how is possible, because that doesn't seem like something that's within the remit of any mortal man. This is a remount of a show from 15 years ago, so we'll definitely be taking a trip down memory lane, maybe not for myself, because I was 10 years old at the time, but definitely for other people who are TJ Daw fans. So I'm excited to take this journey with you, longtime TJ Daw fans, and I'll see you after the show. Synopsis, a Canadian bartender at Butlin'S, is about TJ Daw's experience in Butlin'S in the UK, sort of a tourist attraction, touristy town, sort of a tourist town. So we learn a little bit about the history of the town through his experience with it. Sort of an adventure of his life from his younger days, and interwoven in that main plot are some experiences from TJ Daw's life back in Canada. It starts off with an anecdote set in one of the islands off of Vancouver, and there's a memory about jumping from a high dive into a swimming pool that I found very relatable. So it's a mixture of storytelling and observational comedy. The observational comedy aspect is definitely a big part of the appeal of the show, I would say. It's a big part of how the show works, is going through some experiences that by themselves are maybe a little harrowing, maybe a little unpleasant, and mining everything for humor. So that's kind of the makeup of the show. There's some observational comedy and some storytelling. And the storytelling takes some experiences that are, probably if you explained them in a flat way, would sound fairly harrowing, maybe not even all that pleasant, but it finds the humor in them and just the damned interestingness of it. Makes you feel like you're there, you know, makes you feel like you're in a somewhat run-down tourist town in the south of England. So that's an experience that was valuable to me. There are definitely echoes of it, because I'm from the Yukon, and I am therefore quite familiar with run-down tourist attraction. I must say TJ Daw really lived up to the hype. It's just so much fun to watch him perform, and he has such a command of this show. The lighting and sound were like more in sync, and in sync in a more synergistic way with his performance than I think I've ever seen at the Fringe. Just the way like he breathed life into every beat of the story, and it seems like it's a scattered set of anecdotes, but then everything comes back around. There's a place for everything in the broader narrative. If there was one thing I wasn't a big fan of, it was there's a charming little riff on English slang versus like English idioms versus Canadian English idioms, and while that's probably appealing to someone who doesn't have any familiarity with the UK, it does wear on just a little long if you're already familiar with most of the differences. So there is that, but yeah, just very enjoyable, very warm and fuzzy. Felt like sitting by a campfire with the man and just listening to him tell you all about his life. And for people who've had interesting lives and can speak about them eloquently, how could that not be enjoyable? So I highly recommend it. I've been Matthias Martins, reviewing a Canadian bartender at Butlin'S by TJ Daw, performed at the old Fire Hall. It's a great experience, so don't miss out. I'd love to hear what you think. Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to know how my experience, like this is my first show with TJ Daw, I'd love to know how it compares with yours. So please let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to see new interviews and reviews as they become available.